What's up, guys? Little bit of a different video today. Not a live stream, but I do have some gameplay in the back for you guys to watch. Today I do have a tier list for season 25. This is going to be a prediction video of the heroes that I think are going to be good, the heroes that you should play, and the metas that you should try to follow. So, just a little bit of my thoughts. I think season 25 is going to be one of the best seasons that we've ever had in Overwatch. Why? Because I know almost every hero in the game right now can be viable on a team as long as the team works around it. As you can see in this gameplay, Winston Zarya would have never been played like 3 seasons ago, and now we dominated this match. So it's just amazing to see how many heroes are so good just out of nowhere. Overwatch was just hit with a bunch of buffs and nerfs to all the heroes. Most of the heroes, I should say. Widowmaker 175 health, McCree 225 health, Symmetra 225 health. So much balance changes like damage and health and everything of that sort. A little while back they were trying to reduce the damage on some of the heroes, trying to make the game a little bit slower, reduce the healing, but now it seems they want to go back on that and give actually more healing, which is a little weird. Despite all that, I really do think Overwatch is in the best place that it's ever been. So many pros have been saying this, so many high level players, so many streamers, everybody has been saying Overwatch is in the best place that it's ever been. I've played for 5 years and I do think this as well. Alright, so let's get into the tier list. How I'm going to be ranking this, I'm going to go from the bottom up. So I'm going to go from D and so on. This is just my opinion. You guys can have different opinions, but this is the best opinion that I think everybody should have. So here it is, guys. This is the tier list that I made. Let's start with D. So Bastion, he really isn't in a great spot right now. If your tanks don't work with Bastion, he's just not going to work. He's just going to get focused by a Junkrat or get hooked by a Hog. If your tanks don't want to play around a Bastion, he's really not going to work this meta. I think Bastion works really well in bunker comp for maps like Junkertown, even maps like King's Row, but I think most teams know how to fight around a Bastion now, so he can't even really be used all too much. I mean, I think the best way you can use him is maybe just pulling him when your team is about to lose, like a desperate attempt. Other than that, I don't think Bastion should be played. Okay, the next person we have is Orisa, and it's so sad. I don't really think Blizzard has done a good job with Orisa. I don't think they know what to do with her right now. Her barrier is just too weak to do really anything with. I mean, you could argue that Winston has the same health barrier, but Orisa's is in really just one location where Winston is just kind of, all around him. Orisa's health really isn't that amazing too, her damage output. Orisa just doesn't work with a lot of the tanks right now, and I really think Blizzard should do something to try to help her out just a little bit. She's not working too well right now, and yeah, she needs a little bit of love. Next up is gonna be Mei. I really debated putting her on D tier. I really only think because her DPS isn't that great. Plus being projectile, she's like a weaker Hanzo. Her projectile is a little slower. Right now, I just really don't think she's in the best spot. There's definitely some better picks out there, like the new Soldier, Hanzo, Widow. We're in like a sniper meta, you could say right now. Yeah, I really just don't think Mei's output and damage is that great right now. She's very tanky, and that's a good thing. She can run with certain comps. Like I said, these characters, you don't have to not play them. They're certainly viable. It's really map dependent and it's really team dependent. But overall, as a hero, I don't think Mei can output just as much as some other people can do. Moving on to C tier, we have Diva. I really don't think she's that bad, but having a Zarya and a Winston right now, really powerful, means Diva's gonna really suffer right now. Even having Sigma against the Diva is really harmful for the Diva because she can just get her bullets eaten. Um, Her shields just get melted by a high-level Zarya, a Winston. She has a lot going wrong for her right now, especially um, like the DPS output soldier can just melt a Diva right now. She has a huge hitbox. Um, but that being said, she does work well with dive still. Like, she is still amazing with dive. Just if they have a Zarya or a Winston, I would recommend switching off. Next, I'm going to put Echo and Pharah in the same thing. I really don't have to explain much about them. We are in a sniper-heavy meta right now with McCree, Soldier, Hanzo, Widow, even Sombra is doing really good right now. And obviously Ashe. Ashe is deadly, really, really deadly to Echo and Pharah, so I really wouldn't recommend playing these heroes right now unless they don't have one of those heroes, which is probably a little unlikely. Moving on to Reinhardt. This one's a little sad because Reinhardt needs a little bit of love too. Um, Reinhardt just gets melted. His shield absolutely gets melted by Zarya, especially now because Zarya seems like she's getting a lot more charge than usual. Um, if Reinhardt's just getting pounded by a Hammond too, or say a Winston diving on him, he really can't do much besides swing his barrier. See, Reinhardt has to do one of two things. He puts up his shield or he does damage. So if you take away one of those things, Reinhardt's just like a sitting duck. And right now it's a shame because let's look at Sigma. Sigma can do both at the same time. He can protect himself and he can do damage. Reinhardt has to do one of those things. So it really depends, again, on the map. Reinhardt Zarya is still pretty good, but I would say if they had a Sigma and a Zarya against Reinhardt Zarya, it's most likely that the Sigma Zarya is going to win, simply because Reinhardt just can't do two things at once. Leading on with that, I do think Reinhardt's Shatter is still a little bit weak. I think the stun on the Shatter is really, really short. I think they should, I really think they should extend it. Leading off of that too, it's just, I don't think your team can really follow up on it too well. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why Reinhardt's suffering right now. Next we have Tracer. I really didn't know where to put Tracer, because she's not bad, but she's not great right now. I don't know. Soldier can take care of her really, really quick. McCree can just flash her and kill her instantly. She's pretty good against Doomfist though, but having those characters on a team, you're not going to see a Tracer, especially Sombra, Roadhog. Tracer's just kind of iffy right now. It just depends on the lineup of the team. So I would say if they had a McCree or a Soldier or even like a Hanzo, a really good Hanzo, I would just recommend switching off a Tracer and going on to one of those heroes to counter. So moving on to B tier, the first one I have is Baptiste. So they've been playing around with Baptiste a little bit, and they actually, I'm sure everybody knows about the amplification matrix, how they made that so much bigger. He has more healing. He can actually shoot faster, which means more DPS. But Baptiste is in an okay spot right now. He's really not suffering. I really do think once they have that new ult come out, he would definitely be high on the list. Right now, I just think he's still a little weaker than some of the other healer choices, but I would definitely amp him up as soon as his new ult comes out. So that's what I think about Baptiste. Next in line, we have Junkrat. I was gonna put him a little lower, but I was thinking about it, and Junkrat still does an amazing amount of DPS on shields, especially Reinhardt. So having a Junkrat means you're really not going to see a lot of Reinhardt. I personally have been seeing a lot of Junkrat, and due to the lack of shields really in this meta, Junkrat can just go insane with his DPS, so he's a really decent DPS pick right now. You just have to be careful if they have a soldier, like, say if their team is Soldier McCree, or like Soldier Doomfist, Zarya, you have to be really careful, even Sigma, not to just feed, because if Junkrat feeds, he's really doing nothing for his team. Next I have Winston. Winston's doing really good right now. He can just melt a D.Va. He can melt a Zarya if she has no bubble. He can melt a Sigma. The only thing Winston has to worry about, again, is the TPS on the team. I think Winston is really weak against Doomfist right now, especially how strong Doomfist is. Um, I think he's really weak against Hog. Of course he's weak against Hog. Um, Weak against the new Soldier. It's like a laser going through Winston. But if the enemy team does not have a Hog, I wouldn't say that you can't play Winston. I think that would be a really smart pick, actually, because chances are it's going to be a Zarya or a Sigma. So Winston's a really good pick if they don't have a Hog. You know, I would put Genji a little bit lower, at least C tier, but I have been seeing a lot of nano boosts lately. Nano blades, I should say. I think if you have a good Ana, and if you have a good Zarya, and you have a well-timed grab, and you have a good Mercy, or whatever you have, I think Genji can really pop off. Nanoblade is the most powerful tool in the game right now, and I really don't see it being targeted too much. It used to be just shut down by Zarya or whoever, like Sigma, but I don't know, I've been seeing it a lot lately, and I think Genji's in a decent spot, especially with all the buffs he had a couple months ago. But I can see if you're playing Genji and you don't coordinate with your team, you're just gonna feed. Lucio is actually a pretty good pick too. His sound barrier is really strong right now. I've seen a lot of people doing sound barriers, speed boost into them, and just wiping a team. Especially with something like Death Blossom or a Roadhog ult. It really just pushes them back, and it's really strong. Um, I think Lucio is in a good spot. I think his healing is a little weak. I mean, it's always been a little weak. But if you run a Lucio on it, I don't see a problem with that. I think that is a good healer lineup with good tanks. You can really do damage with that. Next, I'm going to throw all three of these people in. I have Reaper, Symmetra, and Torb. They're kind of in a niche pick right now. I mean, if you choose these heroes, it's probably because you want to win a game really bad, or you really just want to hard counter one of them, or really if you just want to annoy them. I think these heroes are fine. I just don't think that you should pick them over some of the other DPS heroes that we have right now, especially like Soldier and McCree and Doomfist, or Widowmaker and Hanzo. I really think they're optional. I think Volskaya is amazing for these heroes. Maybe not Reaper, but Symmetra Torb is really popping off lately, especially with the new Symmetra buff. Torb's always been in a great spot. So I think these heroes are pretty good, but I think they're map dependent. You should not be playing these heroes like in open areas like Junkertown. Um, that could be an exception with Torb though, if you have like a Bunker Comp or a Reinhardt or an Orisa. But I think these heroes are okay. And that leads us into A tier where we have Doomfist. Um, Doomfist is so strong against Soldier right now. He is so strong against McCree. McCree can flash, but if you can just bait that out, McCree really can't do anything against him. He's so good against Hanzo. He's so good against Widow. He's so good against Ashe. The only reason why I didn't put him as A tier is a lot of people do not know how to play Doomfist. Especially me. I can't play Doomfist. Um, it's just really the case of if you know how to play Doomfist and if you're good at him, you are going to dominate. Really no matter what. Um, you just have to be careful not to get hooked or flashed or slept, and you're fine. I mean, if you can bait out all of those things, Doomfist is so scary. Like, I just died to him right there. You can't really do anything against a good Doomfist. Um, the next one I have is Moira. Moira's okay right now, I think. She's in A tier because she can defend herself really good. Um, if she really works with Mercy, her healing is great. I think Moira has one of the highest DPS output from all the healers, except for Zen maybe with the Discord Orb. But yeah, I think Moira's really good right now. Like I said before, I'm going to put these heroes kind of together. I have Hanzo, McCree, Soldier, and Sombra, but I'm going to talk about Sombra separate. Like I said, Hanzo, McCree, and Soldier, they're really, really, really good right now. They counter most of the other DPS heroes that you have on the enemy team. They're really, really good against Roadhog. They just can melt him. They're really good against Hammond. They're really good against Winston. These DPS have always had the highest output, and I really do think they're in the best spot right now, especially with the soldier buff. You guys have to be playing that soldier buff right now, because if you aren't, you're just not taking advantage of like a broken hero right now. I really do think he is broken. Hanzo's still great. McCree with the new health, I really do think that's actually helping him. Um, I think they did his reload speed too. Yeah, they did. His reload speed is faster now. So that makes them all really good. Hanzo didn't change, but he's still great where he is. I should throw in Widowmaker with Hanzo. I think Widow is still in a good spot. Despite having her nerf where her damage fall off is from a really long range and her health, I do think she's in a good spot too. Because we're in a double sniper meta, so I mean, Widow's gonna have to be in it, and Hanzo. But leading into that, I think Sombra is in a great spot because a lot of the heroes that are being played right now can be like dominated with hack. They can't do anything, especially Doomfist. The only reason I didn't put her in S tier is because a lot of people don't know how to play Sombra either. I mean, including me. I know Colin can play Sombra like amazing, but I really have no idea how to play Sombra. But that hack is the best thing you could have. Like, any ability in the game, I think the hack is the best ability in the game. Roadhog, I don't think changed too much. Besides his nerfs and buffs and everything that he got a while ago, Roadhog is still doing pretty good. You just have to keep in mind if they have a shield, if you're feeding the Zarya, it's your job to try to take care of the Doomfist. You have to try to hook him. You have to save your hook for really good times. Roadhog is a niche pick because, let's say you're fighting against a Reinhardt Zarya, and you have a Roadhog Zarya. I think Roadhog is like a throw pick, because I was playing a game with Colin just a few days ago. We lost. I was Zarya and I had a Roadhog as a teammate, and the Reinhardt and Zarya were dominating us because they had a Widow, and Widow was just able to do whatever she wanted because we didn't have a shield, and I couldn't really do anything. I mean, I could have switched to Reinhardt, but I really do think we needed that Zarya too for the bubbles, so it's just a niche pick, and Roadhog needs to work with the team in order to work, so I'm not saying he's awful, but I'm not saying he's amazing right now, but I think he's in a good spot. Brigand Zen is a little difficult to talk about. I think Zen is, you know what, no, I take that back. I think Zen is really, 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 really good with Mercy, because have you ever seen a damage boosted Zen? He's like a soldier. He's like a stronger soldier. Zen is really strong right now, especially because of the more Roadhogs we're seeing and the Reinhardts, where Zen's Discord is so powerful against those abilities. It's so hard to counter that. The best thing to do to counter that is go Doomfist or Winston or Diva, try to dive him as much as you can. But even that's hard right now because Baptiste Immortality Field is just so strong. He could just keep Zen alive indefinitely. So Dive needs to be careful right now because of Bat. But Zen's damage output plus his Discord Orb is the best thing for him. So I think a lot of teams are working around Zen right now, and I think that's really good for him. Brigida, I might want to put a little lower, but I have her in A because she's not doing bad right now. I haven't really seen a lot of her, but I haven't seen, like, none of her. I mean, I see Brig, and I'm not complaining when she's on my team because I usually have, like, a Mercy or a Moira, but her damage isn't amazing, her healing isn't amazing, but it's just her ult that is so good. She can work with a lot of things. I think Mercy's the best healer to go with Brig. Other than that, I really don't think she's that special. Yeah, I can't think of anything else for Brig right now. She's not too special, but you just gotta be careful. You can't run Brig when they have like more healing than you do. If they have a Mercy Ana, you can't be going Brig when you have a Lucio or a Zen. You need that stronger healing, especially with the tank lineup. If you have a squishier tank lineup, maybe like a Sigma or a Zarya, Brig could work. You just have to be careful playing her. And wow, that brings us to S tier. The first one I have on here is Ashe. Ashe is the best DPS hero in the game by far right now. Damage boosted Ashe can one-shot, I think, 250 health. I'm really not sure. I know she can do one-shot at 200 health squishy or healer. 250, I don't know. I think she does like 240 something damage boosted. But still, that is a two-shot on a Reaper and a one-shot on like a McCree. That is, especially with 225 health, that is amazing right now. Damage boosted Ashe, if you can land the shots, you can just carry the whole game, no doubt about it. She is so good right now, and I really do think you should play her. I believe Sigma is one of the most underrated tanks in the game. Like I said before, he can protect himself, he can do damage, he can do everything right now. He can get shields. He's so great, and I don't think a lot of people see that. I love playing Sigma. If I would play Sigma over Reinhardt all the time. His ult is amazing. It brings everybody to half health. You can work around that though. I mean, BAP, Immortality Field, or like Transcendence. But still, Sigma's ult really is used more of like a stall or like a contest or like a distraction type thing. I think Sigma is so powerful right now, and I don't think he's being countered. However, you really have to be careful with Sigma. I mean, sorry about that. Winston or Zarya, like diving onto a Sigma, because he's really squishy. He doesn't have armor. He has shields like Zarya, but I really do think he's underrated. Obviously, Mercy, I don't really need to talk about this too much. Damage boosting the Ashe is the only reason why she's in S tier right now, especially her res is really big too. Her res is the biggest thing right now for her. But if you don't have a Mercy and you have an Ashe on your team, I really do recommend switching to Ashe and just damage boosting. I mean, switching to Mercy and just damage boosting to Ashe, because that is the strongest thing in the game right now. Like, nothing is more frustrating than dying to a damage boosted Ashe one shot, and I don't know how they haven't fixed that. I don't know. Jeff Kaplan himself said they don't like one shot, but I mean, they do it anyway, so you can't complain. But take advantage of it right now because it is the strongest combo in the game by far right now. Ana is really, she's okay right now. I have her in S tier only because the nano boosted Genji. Nano Blade is the strongest, one of the strongest things right now. I know I keep saying that, but so many things are so strong in this meta. That's why this meta is so great, because you can do so much in this meta, because damage boosted Ash, Nano Blade, Doomfist himself. I mean, everybody can do anything really in this meta. If you know how to play that hero, you can really do anything. And that's one of the greatest things about this right now. I don't even really think I need to talk about Zarya too much because she can just walk into a team, get charged, and immediately melt the enemy team. If you have a Diva, or if you have a Winston, or if you have a Sigma, Zarya is just going to kill you. If you give Zarya charge, she's not going to live. Um, like, you're not going to live. Zarya is so immense with her damage output right now. Damage boosting her is honestly probably better than a Genji Blade. She's by far almost one of the best tanks right now. If not, she is the best tank. That brings us to our last person, and that's Hammond. Hammond is in S tier because Hammond can cause so much disruption. He doesn't even have to kill a person to cause like a team fight win. Hammond can just harass the backline and cut off the healers from healing the enemy team, and that is one of the strongest things. If you cut off healing from a team, they're gonna fall. I mean, imagine a Hammond fighting a Mercy and an Ana in the backline, and all the tanks and the DPS rushing forward fighting your whole team. It's a 5v4, and if you don't get healing, you're not gonna do good. I mean, Hammond, he's so mobile, he can protect himself, he has the shields. His damage is okay, it's not bad, but Hammond disrupting is one of the best things you could do. And he also works with Zarya. Doing a Hammond rollout and getting a Zarya bubble slamming down is so good. It gives the Zarya charge, it gives you shields. Hammond, honestly, right now, I don't want to jinx it, but like, I want to say he's OP. If you can play Hammond, I would do it every game. Hammond is so amazingly good right now. I recommend doing it. Alright guys, and that wraps up the tier list. I know it was a long video and I know it was something different, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm probably going to be doing stuff like this. Me and Colin have some great ideas for some videos. We have challenges, like game challenges coming up. We have a lot of stuff planned for this channel, and I really hope it goes far. I'm doing this for fun, I'm doing this for you guys, I'm doing this for me. So, I really appreciate it if you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys.